All right. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining today's class. It's going to be 1 hour. The whole class is going to be for 1 hour. And as the email rightly said, it's going to be bi weekly, right? And so we're going to jump into introduction for this class. But before that, we just want to meet each other. Okay. We just want to meet each other. You can decide to type or you can decide to unmute and introduce yourself, just 20 seconds or 10 seconds. It's just a very quick one, or you can actually use the comment section as well to type. Yeah, so welcome to today's class once again. Now we are not just going to study a tool. Now this is a way for us to master a new way of serving our community, right, with excellence. Now the course is organized to bridge the gap between faith and also the frontier, of technology. Now, we want to view innovation as a form of stewardship. And so we want to move from being just consumers of technology to being architects of the digital systems that we use to be able to honor our time and also resources, right? And so I'm going to be your instructor for today. I've been teaching for the past 8 to 9 years, different universities, and then I'm also very much involved in research as well, and then also some industry experience as well. So I'm going to bridge all these fronts of experience, and then hopefully I'm able to deliver some knowledge that is useful, to all of us, right? So that's a very brief introduction. And again, nice to meet you. I don't know if you can use the comment section to introduce yourself. It's good so that we can read it as we moving forward with the slides. Now, let's go to the core of today's class, right? Now, the whole course is on mastering AI automation with different tools. Now, the tools that we're going to use throughout majority of the class is going to be N8N. Okay, but before we delve into that, let's look at some of the benefits that this is going to bring, to us. One, it's going to give us high value technical skills. Okay, high value technical skills. Now, the ability to use low code. Now, you want to master one of the industry's most flexible workflow engines. This enables you to build complex systems without deep manual coding. So maybe you've wondered how to build systems, how to automate systems in the past. Now you didn't have the ability to do that, right? I mean, this is just because you couldn't understand the rigor of computer coding, right, or computer engineering, okay, or software engineering. You couldn't understand those, rigor. Now, low code gives you the ability to play with an interface that actually helps you to achieve the same thing, right? Also, you're going to learn about AI integration, learn how to embed AI directly into business processes. Okay, so you want to transition from simple data movement to automated decision making, right? This is very important. Now, most of us use probably AI as a personal guide or something that, we just consult, right? Now, AI can be fine tuned or used in a way that it can actually automate a business process. Maybe there's a manual process that is ongoing in your company. We hope that by the end of this course, you'll be able to measure how you can automate that manual process so that you can redeem your time to focus on different things. Now, also the ability to connect hundreds of different apps into a single cohesive system. Okay, so you have your data all over the place. You use different apps to do different things. Okay, how do you connect all of them into one single workflow that is fully automated from end to end? Okay, so that is also a technical skill that we know that you're going to value out of this course. The other one is being able to understand system architecture, okay, and its advancement. Now, we call something human in the loop design. Now, your ability to gain the expertise to architect systems that are, let's say, 95% automated, and then there's some 5% human supervision. Okay, systems like that are called human in the loop systems. So AI is not a replacement, but as a collaborator. So you have automated, let's say, 95% of that system or workflow, and then you have 5% human supervision in there. That bridges the gap between the human and then the AI collaborator. Also handling that data, okay, using AI to extract meaning from data that is, in simple terms, that is all over the place, right? Like, PDFs, bunch of documents, a bunch of voice notes, emails, stuff like that, right? That is all over. That is not really structured, but AI helps you to gather some intelligence from this data, okay? Now, also logic and branching, learning how to design what we call nonlinear workflow, okay? So learning how to design systems that makes a decision based on a scenario. Okay, so it's not straightforward. It's a non-linear. It's not a linear path. Okay, it's able to make decisions based on a certain condition. Okay, your ability to design such systems is also very good. Now, it also gives you an interesting strategic career positioning. Okay, you move from operator to an architect, right? You move beyond performing repetitive tasks to designing the systems that manage them. Okay, so you're somebody at the workplace who is not just a user of AI, but an architect of it. Okay, you see a problem in the company, you see an issue in the company, and you are able to find a way to automate that or to make it more efficient using an AI workflow. Okay. Also gives you some level of entrepreneurial brain, right? Being able to automate stuff can actually help you solve, problem and actually come up with a startup from that. Okay, automate a certain thing, and then it becomes a startup. Okay, you develop an idea, and then you are able to automate that entire workflow. Okay, and then that is going to help you be able to achieve that. Now, again, the core or the crux of this is generative AI, and I believe that generative AI is now all over the place. Okay, everyone is quite familiar with generative AI. Probably if you use this in the morning before you be coming, in here. So we're going to look at the generative AI fundamentals. What is generative AI, and why is it so popular in today's world? It is very popular, and why should we care? That is the main question. Why should you care about generative AI? Why should you care about it? Now, let's enter into a little discussion, right? So the easiest example for me to explain generative AI to you is all the apps that you use now, from Gemini to Claude to, let's say, ChatGPT, right? These are all generative AI models. Okay. Now, I want to understand from you, do you see this as a threat or as an opportunity for your business? Okay. So how do you see generative AI? What is your first instinct towards generative AI? Okay. Do you see it as a threat? Do you see it as something that is useful, or you see it as something that has more negative impact than positive impact? How do you view your world before and after generative AI? Before generative AI came in and after generative AI, has come, how has it affected your world, and what is your perception about generative AI? Anyone want to share their experience with generative? I know that all of us use some form of generative AI. It's sort of embedded in our lives now. Okay, so how do you? Okay, so there's a hand up. Joe, yeah, Joseph.
Yes, thank you, Elder. So, for me, before generative AI came into the picture, I mean, like when it came, I was really excited about it,
Hmm.
because of, I mean, how fast it works and all that, and the fact that it can easily help you to, get your tax. I mean, tax that you have to think through. For instance, maybe writing the code, like you have to, think through the problems and all that. And, sometimes even a bug can take you like a week or I mean some days to figure out like what is really happening. But I mean, with generative AI now, like it's easy. I mean, you can just copy, I mean, your code, and
Hmm.
it will just tell you like where the bug is, and then you can easily fix it, even fix it for you. I mean, most of the
Oh.
time, right? So
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
me, yeah, that's where the excitement is. But then, like later on, I started seeing that it was also affecting, careers where I saw, what's the name? Some of these big tech companies
Hmm.
laying off some of their engineers and all that. So, I mean, for me, it's kind of a bit. It's in
Yeah.
between, right? Like
Hmm.
you're excited, but at the same time, you are also
You're
kind
also
of scared.
scared.
Like, is it going to take away my job? Like, what was it going to be like? What's the future going to be like? Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I can tell you is that um, AI is not going to replace humans, but it's going to replace humans that do not use AI, right? Um, Now, if you're not able to use it and understand it, then you get replaced. Now, it's not the AI replacing you; it's your ability, your inability, not to be able to use it, right? Any other comments on this? We are all users of AI. So, any other comments? If you want to share your comments. Okay. So, three things we're looking at. One is generative AI a threat or an opportunity for my business? How exactly, right, can I use generative AI to gain competitive advantage? Okay. And then also, how can I use my data securely with generative AI? Okay. How to use your data securely with generative AI. Now, there's a lot of questions or concerns about privacy, okay, when it comes to, using tools that involve AI. And so, in this session, I hope that you'll be able to describe how generative AI is being used to revolutionize practical AI applications, how these models work, discuss their potential business use cases, describe a data organization, and find initial success with generative AI applications, your ability to recognize the potential ethical and also the ethical side of it when it comes to generative AI for applications within your workspace. Okay, so it's very important that we also understand this aspect or section of it. Now, this is the overall agenda. Let's get right into it. Okay, so what is generative AI? Okay, so I'm going to throw some terms in here in the hope that you understand the relationship between these terms. Okay. I'm not going to go very deep into these terms because that is not the focus. The focus is to gain practical skills. Okay. Now, the first is artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is the field of computer science that aims to create systems that are capable of surpassing or emulating human level intelligence. Okay. Now, the second or the subset of artificial intelligence that is very interesting is machine learning. Okay. So, machine learning is a subset of AI. Now, machine learning is the ability to for machines to learn from existing data and make predictions, right? Without explicitly being programmed. Okay, so for the ability for machines to be able to understand patterns in data to make predictions, okay, or to make a decision. Now, a subset of machine learning is what we call deep learning. Now, deep learning uses artificial neural network. Let's call it a brain simulator, something that simulates, how the brain works. Okay. Now, this is interesting for us to learn, from data. Now, is it simulates how the brain works to be able to understand, data. Now, a subset of that simulation, you know, that way of thinking like a human, is where we find generative AI. Now, generative AI now is a subset or a subfield under deep learning, and in here the focus is on generating new content. Okay, generating new content. Now, it could be images, it could be text, it could be music, it could be video, it could be a code, it could be a 3D object, or it could be a synthetic data. Okay, now there are actually platforms or music platforms that have artists that are completely AI. Okay, completely AI. Now, these are artists that were built with AI. Their images on social media are AI. The music is AI, and you can't even figure out, whether this is AI or not. Okay, then these songs are being played, you know, and they are being, watched by millions of people. Okay, so we are in that era. Now I can show you two videos and ask you to tell me which one is real and which one is fake. And there are chances that you may not be able to figure out. Some of the videos are very sophisticated. Okay, so now that is the era that we're in, which is generative, artificial intelligence. Okay, and it's something to behold. And then with guardrails, we should be able to actually come up with a way that we can use this, to our benefits, to a competitive advantage. Now, just to go into the little, theory behind this, I'm not going to focus too much on this. Again, this is just to provide you an overview. So, think of deep neural network like, again, like how the brain works, right? Like how the brain is wired. So, for example, I show it images, okay, and more images, and it is able to generate some images based on the images that I have trained it with. Just imagine training a child, okay, to recognize animals. What do? You show the child a bunch of images of different animals, okay, and then the child begins to learn a pattern, begins to know that, okay, so four legs, looking this way, this is probably a dog, blah blah blah, and the child on his own or her own now begins to identify animals, around him or her. Okay. Now the child has learned enough to be able to draw an animal. Okay, you tell the child, okay, I want you to draw a dog. The child knows enough data or enough information to be able to understand how a wolf looks like, to be able to understand how a horse looks like, okay, from the several images that you have trained this child with. And so the child is able to come up with, generate or come up with a drawing of such an animal. Now, another data object that we can train an AI with are text. Okay, so you can train an AI with text, and then based on that, is able to do translation, question and answering, semantic search. So translation, you know, is one aspect that I'm very happy that we have AI. Okay, so for those of us who have lived in countries that do not speak English, you would appreciate this a lot. Okay, so translation, because the AI has learned enough human translation between different languages and grammar and all that to be able to generate these translations. You can also train AI with sound, okay, or let's say voice. Okay, now that allows it to be the AI to actually generate stuff like speech to text. For example, whatever I'm saying, the AI can transcribe it because the AI understands the sound, the nuances, and all that. Okay, music transcription, video transcription, all these things have become stuff that are automated. Okay, they are automated now. Okay, and this is thanks to the availability of AI. Okay, so it is it is very good, and I know that it's made our lives simpler, but we want to move beyond just consumers to become architects of this. So why is it so popular now, right? Why has AI become what is it today? And why is it so important in today's world? Now, because of large data set. Now, remember here we have been training the AI with objects, different forms of objects, from images, okay, to text, and then sound, as well as so these are images, right? So now the availability of this data, okay, plays a part in the production of these results, okay. And so because of the availability of this site, now these results are being produced in a more rapid way. And so the availability, one is the availability of large data sets, okay. AI models are able to learn from these data sets and is able to produce the results that we see today. Another reason is because of computational power. Now, training an AI to recognize these images, to understand these texts and all that, takes computational power or resources. Now, that is available now for all of us, okay? The, graphic processing units all around us. There's a lot of models that are open source, also to us. And now, thankfully to research, there have been a lot of development in different kind of AI models, okay, that we can use. Okay, some for recognizing images, some for understanding speech, and these are all free to use. Okay, they are all free to use. So the availability of these models, combined with the availability of computational power, as well as the large data sets that are available, you know, makes it a lot more easier for us to see the results that we are seeing today. But why should you care? Why should you care about this? Okay, now I bet you in 10 years to come, or in, let's say, 10 years is even too far, like 5 to 10 years to come, a lot of skills would be reevaluated. Okay, so when I studied AI, that was back in 2017, right? 2017. Now, since then, I never imagined that since then, and that is a short time, right? Since then, AI has changed rapidly. You know, stuff that we couldn't do in 2017, 2018, trying to use AI to do, now AI is doing it, extremely well. Okay, now there's a little paradox and a funny one, because things that look very easy for humans to do, AI struggles to do them. Now, things that are very complex for humans to do is a piece of cake for AI. For example, if you ask a human, to remember a data from 1918, okay, or tell you, let's say, all the happenings or events from 1918 to this current date, right? Humans are going to struggle. AI is going to do this in seconds. Anything that has to do with math computations and stuff like that, AI is going to do it in seconds. But the funny thing is, things that humans do that we don't even think of. For example, your ability to see, okay, your ability to dance, okay, your ability to compose music, you know, things that you do easily, cook, okay, stuff like that. AI always struggles to do them. They are just too human for AI, and that should tell you, that should, if you think about these things, you would appreciate, how complex humans actually are. Your ability to, your reflexes, these kind of things you don't think of, like, things that you do it so easily. That is where AI is struggling. That is where, um, the the barriers are very high for AI. Now, unfortunately, the things that are in career are the things that AI is doing so easily. But things that are very human, you know, they are not able to, do so easily. Now let's look at this. And this was in back in 2023. 40% after check shares drop more than 40% after company says ChatGPT is killing its business. So Check, I don't know if you know this website. Now, this website used to provide um, they used to provide help in homeworks. Now, if you're in academia, like myself, we used to warn students not to bring us answers from Check. Okay. Now, ChatGPT came and their shares dropped for more than 40%. Because who is going to go to Check to pay for an answer whilst ChatGPT is there? Okay, so it's affecting businesses, right? It's replacing some jobs. Okay. And so two things you should understand. AI has become economical enough for use even by non-technical business users. For example, creating a website, no one should be creating websites, like paying developers now to create a website, unless it's a very sophisticated website. Okay, now throughout this course, I'm going to show you different ways that you can get a website in minutes, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, okay, with minimal scale. And it's going to be professional and high level, website. Okay. Now, people are moving from having an idea on a Monday to having a product ready by, let's say, on a Thursday. And the product I'm talking about is a very sophisticated product that actually can go live. Okay. So AI is changing a lot of things. And so we need to embrace it and find a way that we can use it to um, our our competitive advantage. Now, a few things is being involved in creative text creation, code generation, virtual assistance, content, language, storytelling, translation, code generation, and all that. Now, I just want to find out, which aspect of AI do you use the most? What do you use AI for the most? Okay, in your daily, probably your daily life. What do you use AI for? You know, the most. I'm gonna launch a little poll here. You can also unmute in the middle. What do you use AI for? You know, the most. So, content generation, consulting. There's an expert consulting or life choices. I bet you a lot of people use. You may think that you all use AI for the same thing. Probably you use it for all. Okay, so if you see on your screen, there's a little poll. Okay, so virtual assistants, content personalization, storytelling, poetry, creative writing, okay, um, translation, code generation. Okay, now for software engineers, we don't like AI. Well, probably some do, but I'm thinking that if you're a software engineer, you should be. So I have a course that I teach on AI and software engineering, and it's very interesting what AI is doing to that, that space now. Now, okay, so most of you use it for content generation. Okay, so some use for expert consulting, and few use for life choices. Okay, okay, that's interesting. Now let's look at this prompt. Hey, I'm giving a presentation about generative AI in Data Plus AI Summit. Write a short, funny text to convince audiences that generative AI is the future. Maximum 100 words, and the AI gives you, what you need to tell the people. Okay, so image generation, video synthesis, 3D generation, audio generation. Now, we can you can use this in different ways. Okay, for example, let's say you had always wanted to create a cartoon, to help children understand certain concepts. Okay. Now with AI, you should be able to do this. Okay. In less time that it would have taken you, okay, in the past to actually achieve that. Now I've seen people use AI to create very beautiful animation for the children's ministry. Okay, the last time I was telling my media team, you should be able to use AI to synthesize some of the sermons that they preach at church, you know, and make it into a very nice, unique video, animation video for our children, for them to understand the theme, for them to understand, stuff like that, and that will also, that's something they can be watching at home, and that will help us, process the nations and also generations as well, So audio generation, okay, narration, music composition, all these things can be done with AI. Synthetic data, very important. Sometimes you don't have the data to train a model, and so you generate it. um, for example, in my specialty, um, in autonomous vehicles, normally I have to generate this kind of data, to simulate, for example, different weather to be able to train my machine learning models to be able to achieve what I want them to achieve. So, drug discovery, right? Product and material design, chip design, architectural design, and urban planning. Okay, we're going to look at different tools throughout this course, and hopefully some of them can be used in your area of expertise. Okay, and should be able to use some to automate some tasks, or to be able to make some of your work that you do more efficient. Drug discovery is a big one. Chip design, architectural design, and urban planning. So lately in our office in Ghana, we wanted to see an idea or come up with an idea, okay, to be able to change our space and make it more efficient for some computers that were coming in. And then we just took a picture of the space and then describe our problem, gave it to Gemini Nano Banana, and is able to give us the dimensions and all that to follow to arrange it, in a way that we can maximize the use of our lab space. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. We followed that, and then we're able to, achieve perfection. Okay, so now let's look at generative AI and large language models. Okay, so large language models are not a hype. They are changing the AI game. Okay, by now you know that they are not hype. Recently, some researchers were able to use AI or large language models, okay, to be able to, solve a problem that has been existing for the past 10 years. It was an issue that was plaguing the field of physics, okay, and so all over the place we have seen the importance of this. Again, generative AI, we have large language models. Okay, these are models that have been trained on massive data to achieve advanced language processing capabilities. Okay, so remember in that slide where I showed you different data objects that we are able to feed our models with. Now, large language models are these models that are based on deep learning or deep learning neural networks that have been train on massive data sets. Okay, so for example, you want to build an AI for, let's say, that is going to advise people on law. Okay, let's say a lawyer. You can use the general chat GPT, but that is not an expert in law. Okay, you need to fine tune or retrain, a model on a huge corpus, or let's say a huge data. Okay, let's say you go to um, um, an archive of different law cases from the past, and then you give that entire data to a model, okay, to learn from it. So this model sifts through this entire data of all cases that have ever happened in the US and then in Canada or in the Caribbean, and is able to understand a certain pattern for different cases. Okay, now that becomes an expert in such, a case. So these are expert models. Now, before we can have those expert models, we need to have foundational models that are trained on general, you know, general stuff. Okay, and those large language models train on vast amount of data. Okay, so they are trained on general language, they are trained on general knowledge, general data. These foundational models can then be fine-tuned in your area of expertise to become an expert in that, tax. And we're going to understand this more when we move forward. Okay, so again, we will delve much into the theory aspect of it, because that is not our focus. We're going to focus on practical skills. But this is what is happening behind, the scene. I know those computer science people here probably understand these things better. So this is what is happening behind the scene. Your input is being, chopped into little. So that sentence you are typing is being chopped into, some little words, and then it's being changed into numbers that the computer understands. Okay, and through its internal processing and the data that it has been trained on, it understands the language, the freely speaking language that you type in, and so is able to give you the output that you need, right? Quickly, again, these are some tasks that AI can do, and that is fine. We've talked about most of them. Business use cases. I want to hear from you. What idea, or have you ever thought of something you think if AI could solve, you'll be very happy. Um, you'll be very happy with it. Okay. Now, one of the things that we talked about, or we thought of here, is, are we able to automate our projection software? Okay, are we able to automate our projection software? Okay, that is one task that I gave my media team here. Okay, okay, lesson plans. Okay, lesson plans and class activities. Yeah. Now AI in education is funny, right? So the lecturer uses AI to generate the content, teaches it, and then the students will also use the AI to answer. And if you don't take care, the lecturer may use the AI to mark. You know, that's a funny. I don't know. I don't know the future of AI in academia. You know, we need to have a look at. So one thing that we spoke about here at PIWC Fredericton, I tasked my media team. I asked them, how can we automate, okay, how can we automate our projection software? Okay, how can we automate our projection software? Okay, and I'm going to quickly show you if you haven't heard of this. So this, you see here, I don't know if you can still see. I should be sharing my screen. Yeah. So yeah, so you see a different thing, right? So this you see here, okay. So we built this internally just for that. So to automate our projection software. Okay. So when I mention a Bible verse, okay, let's say we are online and I mention a Bible verse, okay, and all that, we are able to, this software is able to listen to me, and has the ability to project whatever Bible verses I'm mentioning to the screen. And so if you join some of our online services, you may think it's someone doing the projection. It's actually AI. Okay, we built this to be able to do that, and you can see that this is our Friday, just our Friday prayer meeting. It's able to even summarize the key points, okay, from the message automatically, and I prepare it for social media. And so if I open one of them, you will see. So this is coming. This is designed and it's coming from AI, and it happens in seconds. And this helps our media team to push, you know, these forward, into onto our social media platforms. Okay, so this is one way that we are adopting AI. Okay, so where our graphic designer is busy and all that, and we still need, to put highlights of our messages online. Okay, we are able to use this to automate that. Okay, so this AI actually listens to us, and then that's the projection, and then is able to capture, you know, whatever we're saying, and then do the projection, okay, for us. So that is one thing I had always wanted to do, um, and thankfully now the resources are there for us to, achieve that. Okay, you can see that whatever I'm saying is being, transcribed here, by the AI. The same way, this is the same technology we are using. So this our system is listening to me. If I'm to mention a Bible verse, it's going to project it, onto the screen. So that is something. So it's something that we thought of and wanted to do. Okay. So I want you to think about something. So is this a software built by AI? So this is a software that we built, integrating AI into it. So we built the software, and we are using um, an AI model to understand us. Okay. So, oh, my volume went down. Okay. So are you able to hear me? Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, I think because I switched to software, yeah, it took over my. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. So someone was asking, so is this a software built by AI? So this is a software so we built the software, right? And we integrated AI into the software because we have a problem that we wanted to solve. Okay. But for the interface, for example, the designs that you see, okay, we use AI to generate them, the design. Okay, the website design that you see. Yeah, but the brain, the back end and stuff like that, signing up and all that, that is where we worked on. Okay, so it's very important, and now we're able to use this, in our online meetings. Even if the media team is not around, is able to, you know, project the Bible verses and is able to capture highlights for us to post on our social media. Okay, so there are a lot of business use cases. Okay, look around you. What do you think you can automate with AI? Improving shipping delays, product quality, customer service, billing and payment. All these things are something that you can redeem your time. So what I'm saying is redeem your time as much enough and focus on, more important things. Some tasks are repetitive. You can actually automate them. And at the end of this course, everybody's going to have a project, that they wish they can automate, and we will help you see how you can automate that to some level. Okay. So let's time is fast, man. So I guess building this kind of software is going to be taught in class. Okay. Okay, I'll come to you, Olabisi. Okay, Abuaje, you said, I guess building this kind of software is going to be taught in this class. Sure, 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 sure. We will have two other lecturers coming in, and they'll be teaching this stuff. Okay, yeah, we will show you how to build an end-to-end software. Okay, as well. Yeah, we hear a lot of online businesses. How can we generate income using excellent question. Now, this is actually the core, of the this is actually the core of the entire class. Okay, so I'm gonna delve right into that, pretty soon. Actually, I'm just giving you the final breakdown, about LLMs, LLM business use cases, creative writing, technical writing, translation and localization, customer support. Okay. I don't know your experience with customer support though, but I bet you 90% of the customer chatbots, chat applications that you are talking to are AI. Okay. I bet you that most of them are AI actually you're speaking to. Okay. So automated customer response, email, social media, product review, sentiment analysis, and all that. Okay. So more business use cases, but I want you to come up with your own business use cases. So quickly, let me show you something. Let me use the last 10 minutes to show you what we are going to, the platform that we're going to use. And then we would okay, I need to introduce my TA. So my TA is Joseph. So Joseph is a master in computer science student here at the University of I don't know, Joseph, if you can, so that he can see you. His name is Joe here. I'm going to send his information in email. Okay, so if you have problems setting up and all that, he will show you his availability so that he can be able to guide you. So let's talk quickly about N8N. N8N. And that is what we're going to be learning starting from our next class. So this is N8N. Okay, probably your first time, or if you've been using it, kudos. So N8N allows you to build stuff like this. Now, for now, this will look a little bit gibberish to you, but hopefully by the third or fourth week, you understand. And remember, this is bi-weekly, right? So you understand. Now, you're able to put together tools in this way to solve a particular problem. Now, this is where the beauty of automation comes in. Okay, for example, you want to be active on social media, you want to be posting on YouTube, but you don't have the time to. Okay, people actually build workflows that generate content, post on YouTube, and they do nothing. Okay, and it's fetching them money. You know, they do nothing. The content is being generated. Everything is being pushed to YouTube automatically. Everything is automatic. Okay. Um, Again, one competitive advantage. So a client came to me. He he wanted to. He's into selling cars, right? Now there's this big Japanese website that sells cars. Okay. Now sifting through and finding drop drop in prices and all that, it's a little bit headache for him. So he wanted an easier way to do this. Okay. And I walked him through a way using this N8N to actually go through the website automatically. So the flow that he built goes through the website automatically, finds the kind of cars he's looking for, monitors if there's a drop in price, compares it, and then takes the image and posts automatically on his WhatsApp channel. So he does nothing. Okay. Everything is automated. It goes to the website, check for the cars, look at the price drops, and post it. And when the customer replies, the AI replies the customer. And if there's it gets to the point where the transaction has to be made, it's linked back to my friend to continue. And it's so efficient, right? Now he has a competitive advantage over other people who, are in that same space. Well, he has speed. And this speed is not coming from him. It's because he's built a workflow that is helping him achieve that. You can think of stuff that goes on in your workplace and build a nice workflow to automate your tasks, okay, and make it more efficient. Okay, so we're going to look at workflow automation, process automation. Now, there are a lot of use cases here. You can actually go ahead of time and begin to learn about it. So there's a lot of use cases here. If you go to use cases, and let me see, lead automation, security operation, backend prototyping, building agents, let's say IT. I want something that is not IT. Okay, let me see. Now let me go to templates. Okay. So templates here. So for example, these are templates that other people have built that you can actually also use. Okay. And hopefully in the future you build your own and also share with the community. Okay, so let's see. For example, if you want a template on, let's say marketing. Okay, let's see what people have done. Okay, so this guy has built a full end-to-end summarized YouTube videos for transcription, add new customers from WooCommerce to Motic, analyze landing page with OpenAI and get optimization tips, send multiple emails in Gmail directly via Google Sheet, export. So a lot of, now look at this one. So this person is generating AI videos and carousels with these two for Instagram and TikTok, and probably earning money, out of it. Okay. So people can have a whole online business with no employers. Okay. And with no employees, right? And build automations that handle from marketing to lead generation to customer service. Okay. Now this is bad news for those in those area, but yeah, people do that. So you see a big company, you're thinking that okay, they have like 2 to 4 employees, and they are just using a workflow to do orders. Okay, and the workflow is so efficient you wouldn't even realize, that this is what is being done. So this is a platform. They have a 7-day free trial. That is if you want to use the cloud one. Okay, so after the 7 days, I'll show you how to actually have this on your PC local. Okay, and then with the help of our TAs and others, we start looking at things that you can actually automate. Now, this is a very important skill. Okay, you can research about this in a job market and see. Okay, there's a lot of jobs in this area. Okay, companies want employers or employees. Companies want employees that are able to deliver efficiency. Okay, and this is one of the most efficient way to do stuff using automation. Okay, now this is not going to replace you. This is going to make your work faster. Okay, and also save time, and then increase productivity at the workplace. Okay, now some of us we use this, some of the things we do to be able to deliver faster and then also bring value to the companies that we work for. And so it has visual building very important because not all of us can code. Okay, so you can use a drag and drop to do this. Okay, because I know that some of you or some of us are not programmers, right? And so you can all still participate by using the interface to be able to do that. And so it all depends on the ideas that you're able to come up with and automate. Maybe there's a problem, it's a unique problem that one of my students, so I actually teach this course with the University of Texas. So one of my students, in his city, the World Cup will be happening. Okay, so we built a little automation for him where visitors coming for that World Cup are able to view the matches, are able to see the history behind those two teams playing. Sure, history behind those two teams playing, as well as be able to see the commonalities between the two teams, their cultural heritage and all that, and then also monitor tickets for price drop. Okay, and then he's able to build that, and he's sharing with his friends and all that, and it's going to fetch him some money. Okay, so it depends on what you identify. Okay, but we will provide the tools enough for you to come up with those ideas and identify that. I'm going to end here and take questions, just 2 minutes. And if there are no questions, our TA Joseph would close us from here. Yeah, I'll take questions now. Thank you. If there are any questions, you can type or you can. I'm fine with any.
Bishop Sami.
Yes, Pastor.
Yes,
Papa.
thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for this privilege and the opportunity to learn into new areas that are not, as part of our day-to-day activities.
Yeah.
My encouragement is to slow down a bit on the actual training when we get there.
Okay.
So we're able to really get hold of the knowledge you want to pass on and the skill that you want to pass on to us. But for what you have done this morning, I want to say thank you very much to you and your team. And you have a free vacation opportunity in St. Lucia anytime.
Okay, Papa. Evangelist, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all as well. Yeah, for you can ask your questions. Do you have any WhatsApp platform or site for your teachings? So most of my tutorials are paid because it's with a company, Quick Start and also Workforce Institute. Yeah, but yeah, that's a good one. We are going to do the recordings and then we can make these ones free. Yeah, for yeah. But the completed ones are courses that are being sold online, unfortunately. But we bring the same experience here, as well. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I know. I mean, I joined a bit late. You may have gone through this, but I wanted to ask. I know that for these AI and stuff, these
Yeah.
algorithms learn from
Mm,
the data that we already have access to and use that to
yeah.
predict what we want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
But I mean, just for a lot of people don't have that understanding, so maybe they think that AI is from the devil and all that. So just to some of us, I mean, in the future when we explain it to people and stuff like that,
Okay.
just
Okay.
give us a bit of because
Okay.
I'm a hydrologist, so I cannot deal a bit with these things.
Oh, okay. 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 Yeah. I
Just
think
to let.
I think by now people have are beginning to embrace it. Yeah, but thank you so much.
That is the bishop for Saskatoon.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Saskatoon
Papa.
District Pastor.
Oh, okay, Papa. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You cannot hide yourself for Mankwa.
You have the same name.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to add, I mean, I know you are recording so that, in the future, we would get people to understand these things, that this is not any devil thing. I mean,
Yes.
we have a lot of data and
Definitely.
we are just
Mhm.
learning, modeling,
Yes.
and, learning from that data to predict
Mm,
what is coming.
mm,
So I think,
mm.
so
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 Understood. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
hello.
So, yes. Papa Moses. Yeah. Please.
Okay, thank you very much once again. So my question is on coding. I
Coding.
know
Okay.
when it comes to before, you need to learn Python and other coding ways of getting things done. But with the system of AI nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
how can those who are not too literate in coding easily learn and use that to
Okay.
their advantage? Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, you mean to learn coding easily, or
Yes,
to
to
okay to
learn
learn?
coding and use it to build apps or to build, to mainly build apps or websites, just as you mentioned earlier. Because I know these things, all of these rely on some coding and
Yeah.
systems that will have to, yes.
Yes. So, yeah. So there are two ways, right? Two paths that I would talk about. One path is using AI coding tools. Now, these AI coding tools don't actually teach you how to code, but what they do is they do the code for you. Okay, so you present your idea in a layman's view, or let's say plain English, and they translate that into a code. Okay, and that happens with website building and all that. People are building apps using base 44. Let's see, base 44. Base 44. This, for example, base 44 here. Turn your ideas into apps. So this one doesn't actually teach you how to code, but for example, you want a gaming platform, an onboarding portal. Okay, you just describe your idea here, and it's going to do the code for you, ready for the app store. Okay, that is one part. Now that doesn't teach you how to code. That does the code for you. Now, other platforms that you can use to learn, let's say, how to code. You really want to have a platform that can personalize your experience. Okay, so you can even use ChatGPT or Gemini to learn how to code. You just pass in a prompt that tells ChatGPT you are a beginner, and you want to learn how to code, and this is your background. Now, why this is important is because, and later we're going to look at prompt engineering, how to write proper prompts. Okay, how to write proper prompts. Now, the reason this is important is because now ChatGPT understands your background, knows your level, and so it's going to give you step by step, you know, lessons. It's going to be in a text form, unfortunately, step by step lessons to be able to learn how to code. But the examples are going to be in a way that it's easier for you to understand. Okay, now there for general coding and what I recommend, let's say what's this website? I've forgotten this. There's a lot of sites in my mind. Okay, so there's websites that actually gives you a step by step, and they have an inbuilt platform that you can actually test your, you know, your coding. We have, okay, so there's code. I think that would be the learn coding. That would be the first thing that probably pops up. Not this one. Code Academy, Free Code Camp, W3 Schools. This, okay. So W3 Schools, okay. Now, most of us, I think most developers here probably were using this to learn. Use actually this to learn, you know, how to code. Okay, you can learn any program here. This combined with ChatGPT, you know, is good because here is very step by step. Okay, and you can actually test. You can actually run the examples. You don't need to install anything. You can use um, their environment here to run your code. You don't need to install anything. Okay, yeah. So I would say use this together with ChatGPT. Okay, and that would be, yeah. I think for some others the time seems to have appeared as 11. Yeah, probably, but yeah, Dr. Moses, that is for now. Yeah, that is. But you can also use AI coding platform that does the code for you. But if the understanding is to learn how to code, then yeah, you would use this platform. W3 Schools is my best because it doesn't take the complexity away from you. What you don't want to do is to learn how to code without understanding the complexity. Okay, you should appreciate it, and that makes you a better programmer. Okay, in there. But ChatGPT together with that will give you, you know, a good way to do it. And also Copilot. Copilot also is good with this. If you integrate it with your coding environment, it can actually, whilst you're coding, it will be coding ahead of you, like giving you suggestions, you know, and that is also a good way to get up to speed with coding. But if you don't want to bother your head to learn how to code, nowadays some of the tasks you don't have to, you know, make it so complex. You can use the coding platforms to do that, and they work just fine. Okay, yeah. Okay, so someone mentioned no, it's not. That's a different Moses. Sorry, we will close right now. I came in late, but I appreciate. But please, where are the tools to use? Where can we read more about it? So I'm gonna send an email right after the class, maybe in the next 1 hour. That's going to give you links to if you registered, right? Okay, so maybe some of you join the direct link. I don't know how to. I'm going to send a registration link in here. I don't know if so I can get your emails. Joseph, can you? I don't know if Joseph is possible for you to. Yeah. So
Elder, yeah, please come again.
yeah, you can create a WhatsApp page. Okay. Normally,
Okay,
I like to do with emails. Yeah, but maybe for convenience, you can you can create a WhatsApp group and then you can share the link here. Yeah, so that those
okay,
who
let
want
me
to join
just do that now.
directly click on it because not everyone registered. Yeah, so yeah. Okay. All right. So let's. The other question was that which platform can we access the recordings? Okay, so that's a good one. We don't have a community platform now, but probably we can start with WhatsApp for now. We are building our own end-to-end platform, which is not ready yet. So when it's ready, we will share it in the WhatsApp page as well. Thank you so much. So I think that would be it. Which tools? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you can follow the link to join the WhatsApp group. That will be easier for us to communicate if I have any resource I can share there as well. And if you have any questions, maybe you want to contact us. I think we should make it easier for all of us. Yeah, as well. All right. Uh, thank you so much. Since our puppets are here, maybe one of our puppets can pray for us. Yeah, anyone.
Yeah, we can pray.
Okay, Papa.
Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, we thank you. We bless your holy name. We give you praise for all that you have given us. Father, we know that all these tools that are available to us is by your grace, and we know that we can leverage on the important aspect of these tools to make life comfortable and easier and to advance your kingdom. Even Father, we pray that even as we are giving ourselves to these teachings, you help us, oh God, and through this you birth new ideas, you birth new opportunities for all of us, oh God, and for the people online. We pray and bless the team that are putting this together, that through their generosity we bless them and Father continue to advance them. We pray that they will become big people who will lead big corporations, that the kingdom of God will move forward. We bless your name in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. God bless you so much. Feel free to join the WhatsApp group as we'll be sharing important information in there. God bless you so much. This is bi-weekly, and so we're gonna meet on that is next 2 weeks. Yeah, it gives us more time to practice. So that's gonna be on
A quick
spiritual.
one.
Yes, please go
Was it
ahead.
recorded in any way? Because
Yes, please.
we
Yes,
didn't
please.
get
Yes,
the
please.
time. So if we can
Oh,
post the recording on the
yes,
WhatsApp, we
please.
can share with our group, yeah,
Yes,
so that we
please. I
can
will
be
do
on
that.
the next. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. I will do that. Yes, please. Thank you so much. Okay, Papa. All right. I'm still so if you haven't joined the group, you can we are done now, but if you want to if you haven't joined the group, you can just click on it and join before I end it from my end. God bless you so much. And then we also appreciate the privilege to impart knowledge. Thank you.